correctly with the correct amount of
My name is what? My name is my name is
Shalom, brothers and sisters. I'm Brother Athan, and to my left,
I'm Brother Josiah.
and today's lesson is called The Name. Okay, going into a discussion about the debates in regards to the Most High's name. How you got to use this name and use that name. No, it's not necessary. If you call him Lord or God or the Most High does not mind that. All right, there's much controversy in regards to using the name of God. Ecclesiasticus 24 verse 23. We're going to go into the heritage of Israel. Okay?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 24 verse 23. All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God, even the law which Moses commanded for an heritage unto the congregations of Jacob.
So the Most High gave us the law as an heritage. Okay? That's one part of our heritage. The 3 L's. The laws, the language, and the land. Go to 44. Chapter 44, verse 21 to 23.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 44 verse 21. Therefore he assured him by an oath that he would bless the nations in his seed, and that he would multiply him as the dust of the earth, and exalt his seed as the stars, and cause them to inherit from sea to sea, and from the river unto the utmost part of the land. With Isaac did he establish likewise, for Abraham his father's sake.
So the same blessing he gave to Abraham, he passed down to Isaac. Yeah.
The blessing of all men and the
The
covenant.
blessing of all men. People will say, see, all nations. All men of who? Read the next verse.
And made it rest upon the head of Jacob.
Head of who?
Upon the head of Jacob.
All men of Jacob. All 12 tribes of Israel. Go ahead.
He acknowledged him in his blessing, and gave him an heritage, and divided his portions among the 12 tribes did he part them.
That's the land. That's the heritage as well. 46, 8 to 10. 46, 8 to 10.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 46 verse 8. And of 600,000 people on foot, they too were preserved to bring them into the heritage, even unto the land that floweth with milk and honey. The Lord gave strength also unto Caleb, which remained with him unto his old age, so that he entered upon the high places of the land, and his seed obtained it for an heritage.
Now we know the covenants is the heritage. The law is the heritage, and the land is the heritage. 2 Maccabees 2. What else is the heritage of Israel? 2 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 17. Chapter 2, 17.
Second Maccabees chapter 2 verse 17. We hope also that the God that delivered all his people and gave them all in heritage, and the kingdom.
And the what?
And the kingdom.
The kingdom. That's who the kingdom belongs to. Israel, for an heritage. The kingdom of heaven. Go ahead.
And the priesthood and the sanctuary.
Okay, the kingdom is Jerusalem. But the kingdom of heaven that Christ is going to establish on earth belongs to Israel for an heritage, not all nations. Alright, now, Deuteronomy 28 verse 15. Now, we mentioned now the heritage of Israel. Did Israel lose their heritage? Yes. We're going to find out why. Deuteronomy 28 verse 15. How did Israel lose their heritage?
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Israel, the Most High knew Israel was not going to listen. Like today, Israelites do not listen. They'll hear a scripture and they're like, man, that's not what that means. They'll say as clear as day, but they'll say, nah, that ain't what it means, brother. Why? They do not listen. And for that, we lost our heritage. Verse 32.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people,
Another nation. Go ahead.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand.
You will have no power to take them back or to get them back. Verse 41.
Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
Unto another nation of people. Alright? 48.
Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee.
So he's saying he's going to send our enemies against us. In hunger, we want food, you got to go to the enemy. Because there ain't no Negroes running the distribution companies or manufacturing companies. Alright? Negroes and Hispanics don't run that. Native Americans don't run that. It says in thirst. When you want to pay your water bill, don't pay your water bill. See what happens. You won't have no more water. Alright? In nakedness, you want clothes, you may have these rappers that have Rockaware or Sean John, but they don't run the raw textile factories. They're not the ones that ship the fabric over here. They're just a name. Like Jordans. Jordan don't create those sneakers himself. The nations are the ones who create those sneakers and ship them over here. He's just a name. Alright? It says in the want of all things. You want a marriage certificate? Go to the white man. Education? The white man. You want a job? White man. You want a bank loan? White man. No matter what you do, you are in lack of all things. You need him. He don't need you. He don't need us. We need him for survival. Alright? Yeah, and read the rest of that part. No niggas and one of all things. And he shall.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee.
The white man had us in slavery. He put yokes of iron upon our neck and took the chains off when our minds were destroyed. And we lost our heritage. We forgot what land we came from. We forgot our laws. We forgot who we were. Okay? And we forgot our language. That's why it says in one of all things, when we had to learn English, who we to rely on? The so-called white man. The so-called French. The so-called British. Okay, the Spanish. We had to rely on them to learn how to survive in their land because we were under their captivity. Alright? Now, go to verse 50 to 51. No, 49. Sorry.
Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
I just said that. A nation whose tongue you will not understand. Let's talk about the so-called Spaniards. They came to the Americas. The Native Americans were speaking Hebrew. They were not speaking Spanish. So when they conquered the Native Americans, alright, the Native Americans had to learn from them how to speak their language. Okay? They provided water. The Spaniards forced the Native Americans to have to need them for their own water, for their own food, their own clothing. Alright? Next verse.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
They made the old people work and the young. They killed the old if they were too old to work, and they killed the young if they were too young to work. Go ahead.
And he shall eat. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed.
He was going to waste all their resources until they all die off. Go ahead.
Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or the flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee.
And that's happened to the Native Americans. The Native Americans are also in one of all things. They took everything from them and forced them to have to work for it, or they died from famine. They died from starvation. Alright? So the same curses that fit the Negroes fit the Native Americans as well. Alright? So now, verse 63 now.
And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from the land off. Ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Be plucked off from your heritage. Alright? How that happen? Read verse 64.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other.